All right, guys, welcome back to Fantasy Football with McLovein. This is week 11. It's our week 9 because we're 2 weeks behind. Yeah. McLovein, why don't you go over, you were calculating on the 2 weeks that we didn't do a show. You still kept track of your stuff, statistics, as far as the spread goes. So why don't you go do that?
The first week that we missed, I went 11-3-1. And the second week we missed, I went 4-8-2. And then last week I went 7-6-1. So I'm at 71-57-6, which is right on the 55% exactly. So I'm where I was, 3 months ago, where I told you I was going to be. So keep listening to me and profit. But
yeah, if you guys aren't, here's the deal. I don't think you guys realize this: 55%, more than half the time you're winning, which means you're winning more than you're losing.
Correct.
So no matter what happens, you're still up.
Correct.
So the deal is here, if you're not doing that, what the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's doing it for free.
Yeah, I'm giving you all this stuff for free, all my information, and everyone wants to talk shit and stuff like that, but the numbers don't lie. You can go back through show for show and see where I made all 71 picks out of 127 is not bad. It's not bad. So.
All right, now I forget what we do. Do we do the standings first, or do we go right into the news and then go into the? So yeah, we do in the news, we do the transactions, we go into the standings of everybody. Oh no, we do the standings first.
No, we do
the news first. Okay.
Yes, correct.
All right, so ESPN news. So let's go to our news here. Okay. Let's see here. This is irrelevant. Efficient. Okay. Irrelevant. Well, here's a story for you. I mean, Lions beat Green Bay and Wisconsin for first time since 1991. Nobody saw this coming, and if you did, you're a liar. The Lions snapped a 24-game losing streak by beating the Packers in Wisconsin. And here's the deal. If you did see it coming, you would have bet, and you would be a millionaire right now. So the Lions snapped a 24-game losing streak by beating the Packers in Wisconsin, bringing some sunshine to an otherwise gloomy season.
Yeah, I watched this game, and it was brutal. It was a brutal game to watch. Till the last 5 minutes in the game when it got good. Rodgers he couldn't find anybody. They could not get that offense in rhythm. It was a low-scoring affair. The guy leads off the second half with a kickoff return to put him up. Then the Lions being the Lions, he misses the extra point. So then it's 9-3. Then they kick a field goal. It's 12-3 with about 5 minutes left in the game. Detroit scores again. They miss. They scored again, but missed the extra point again. Okay. So then the Packers score two touchdowns to get them to 16. They get the onside kick, and then the guy misses a field goal to lose the game. And it's. I don't want to say congratulations to Detroit because they didn't really play that good of a game. I think Green Bay's, they've had 3 bad losses, and this is a fact. I don't know if you guys watched those McDonald's commercials.
Yeah.
But since Mike Ditka put on his Green Bay sweater and hat, the Packers are 0-3. So I don't know if you guys read into that stuff. I love that stuff. I love all that stuff. Yes, it probably doesn't mean anything, but it has
still
some value. It's still a fact. Green Bay's got some problems. Not only they lost 3 in a row, they're now in second place or behind Minnesota. They have a big game going against each other this week. Should be interesting in Minnesota. But I think they've been exposed. Their offense has not gotten any kind of rhythm the last 12 quarters. And it's definitely, magnified by the fact that they are the Packers. We're expecting them to get going, and they're just continue to be in neutral. And the defense is still, decent at best. They need to play better. They need to play better across the board. And knowing Mike McCarthy, trust me, he's letting them know in more ways than one in that locker room. They got a Hall of Fame quarterback. They got a top-notch head coach. They'll figure this thing out. But will they figure it out and win the division, or will they figure it out and hold on to a wild card? Two completely different scenarios. Obviously, Green Bay, if the track is through Green Bay, which I don't think it's likely going to be, it's probably Carolina, who's 9-0 now. So Green Bay is definitely shuffling. They're taking steps back. They're not the same team. And now I hear all these people complaining about Jordy Nelson. Yeah, no one was complaining about Jordy Nelson when they were 6-0, right? So when you start losing, all this shit comes out of everywhere. But I still would not want to play Green Bay if I didn't have to. And also, they can't play any worse. Let's just put it to you that way.
Bears tight end after the win. Rams bunch of front runners. Martellus Bennett taunted the Rams after the Bears' 37-13 road win and called St. Louis Seattle's little brother and front runners.
Front runners. They've never. I mean, as long as I've known, they've never won that division. I don't know why he says front runners. Yeah, I guess they're Seattle's sister, but they always seem to beat Seattle. So does that even make any sense?
I don't know. That's what it said.
I think it's horseshit. I don't know where he's coming across. I mean, if you're a Chicago Bears team, you should beat Seattle. I mean St. Louis. There shouldn't be any like, yes, we won. Oh, we beat. It's fucking St. Louis. You know. I mean, yes, they have a terrible head coach, Jeff Fisher. Their defense is good at times. They have a great rookie running back, but their quarterback sucks. Folks sucks. They don't really have any receivers. Wes Welker's not the answer. And for a Bears team who is finally coming to earth, for them to go and beat a St. Louis team to make a comment like that means absolutely nothing, and it's unfortunate they have to take the time to. It's unfortunate I have to take the time to talk about that.
All right. After breaking Brett Favre's career passing yardage record, Peyton Manning was pulled from the game after going 5 of 20 with 4 interceptions. 5 of 20, 35 yards, 4 interceptions. Even when he looked up at that one. All right, so Peyton Manning was pulled from the Broncos' loss Sunday because Coach Gary Kubiak was, quote, protecting and, quote, worried about the future Hall of Famer. It comes out that he had a ripped plantar fasciitis.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Okay. So Kubiak admitted he got... See, the people get caught up in this. That's the thing with Peyton Manning is I am sure... It will never be said, but he went to the office and says, Coach, I need to break this record. I need them to stop the game for me. I need to be recognized, okay? And as much as he says it didn't, it did because if there was no record on the line, he would have never played. That's the only reason they put him out there, okay? Peyton Manning showed his age. He showed his, feet, whatever. He's not with it. He's not Peyton Manning. And I would think after the second interception, you might say, okay, he doesn't have it today. But they waited till his 4th interception when it was finally an embarrassment. It was just an absolute shit show. I think Kubiak got caught up in the hype with Peyton Manning again, and he's an experienced coach. That should never happen. I don't feel bad for him because I hate Denver. They were down. DeMarcus Ware wasn't playing. Aqib Talib was serving his 1-game suspension, so they were down on that end. In Kansas City, they're 4-5 now. We counted them out earlier, and they're running back. So, with all that being said, he should have never played. I've had that plantar, and it's a bitch. I mean, you can't even walk. Like literally, I could not walk. Like it's some of the most pain I've ever been in my life, and it's like one of those heavy things right on the bottom of your foot. It sucks. So if he's out there playing with the planters and the neck and the shoulder and throwing up lollipops, you're gonna lose. You're gonna be down 33-0 before it's time to close the door. But Kubiak fucked up a number of times. He should have never started Peyton Manning. He should have never gave in to the hoopla about the records, which no one even fucking cares about because they lost the game. And after the second interception, you might as well say, you know what, today's just probably not his day. Don't wait till the 4th interception. I can barely walk out there. So I'm glad because it helps out the Patriots.
That was big for us.
Exactly. So they're not the same team with Brock Osweiler, but...
well, here's the thing. Brock Osweiler can't do worse than that.
Correct.
So,
but this team is based off of their defense, and that's the thing that's got to keep them. That's going to keep them tight is their defense.
the defenses look. I know Akeem Talib hasn't been playing, but didn't play. But the defense over the last 2 games looked terrible. All
yeah, well, they haven't had their component. Yeah, correct.
All right. Sources: Pats wide receiver Edelman to have foot surgery. Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman will have surgery to repair a broken bone in his left foot. Sources told ESPN, we now know he's out for the regular season. Potentially the playoffs, he could come back.
Yeah, some lady took all the information, and she said that at best he'll be. We're assuming that the Patriots would get a
first round bye. Yeah,
so he'll be ready for that second week. Best case scenario. Edelman's a tough bastard, but when you break a bone in your foot, you broke a bone. You can't play. You can't walk. It's going to be a huge loss, and this is like the 4th straight show where the Patriots have lost someone significant to their, and it's just one of those things. And I'll reiterate what I say every week is injuries happen in the NFL. Injuries happen. No one is going to feel bad for you. No one's going to feel bad for you. So there's no wasting time complaining. Let the fans do that. But now you need guys to step up for real this time, because losing Lewis and now Edelman out of the backfield, 2 of your better options to catch the ball are not going to be with you guys the rest of the season. So that means Amendola needs to step up. LaFell, whatever LaFell shows up, he's a mess one day, and then he's making a phenomenal 80-yard catch.
54, but yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And Gronk is Gronk, but now you're going to see Gronk more double, triple teams. Chandler drops some easy passes. He's got to step up. James White's got to step up.
James White is horrible. I think
he is terrible. They're terrible, but there's no one on the street that's any better. So if they did, trust me, New England would have bad right now. So Amendola is going to have to step up, and now Amendola's got to play 2 roles. He's got to play his role, and then he's got to play and Edelman's role.
Yep.
Gronk is Gronk. He's going to be targeted more. Tom might be forcing stuff, because I'd rather have him forced to Gronk than pass to LaFell, who you just don't know what's going to happen, if he's going to drop it, if he's going to drop 4 or 5 or 6 this game. So what needs to step up is the running. They need to establish the running game, and luckily they've been getting away with it. Blunt, obviously he's not a pass catcher out of the backfield, so they need to establish that run. I thought they'd run more, having the lead 2 weeks ago, and this last week was just a great game, great football game to watch. Came down to the last second, so. With the New England's remaining schedule, I don't see them losing, but something could happen. But this is it. This is ground bottom. This is ground zero. No one else can go down. Okay, they've lost enough people already. So if they lose any one of their top people, obviously the last guy going down is Brady, and before that Gronk. But if anyone else goes down, they're in serious trouble. So we'll see what happens. But that's the game of football. People know what they're signing up for. You get injured, that's the end of the game. Someone has to come in and replace you, and you can't bitch and moan and cry about it. Oh, we're losing. Wow, we're losing Edelman. Wow, we're losing Lewis. Wow, he's a left tackle. Wow, our center is playing right tackle. Wow. No one gives a fuck. So all you got to do is do what they did last week. They found that they were hit with mental. What do they call that? Mental tough adversity. Yeah. And they faced adversity right down, and they said, "Fuck you." The Giants think they're going to beat us. We're going to come back with, duct tape, and we're going to come back and beat you with a 54-yard field goal by Stephen Gostkowski, who's probably the most underrated player in this entire league. No one talks about him.
Probably the most underrated player in the history of the league.
Exactly. So, yes, it breaks. Now, the Giants fans can't talk about breaks on their end because their breaks are over. With the catches they made in the Super Bowl, don't even come to me with that. So I'm glad they beat the Giants. I'm unhappy to see injuries. Injuries happen. Now they're just going to have to rebound.
Beckham on overturned touchdown. Quote, I lost us the game. Odell Beckham Jr. took the New York Giants 27-26 loss to the New England Patriots very hard, saying the heartbreaking last-second defeat was on him.
Well, it's not. It's not on him as much as I'd love to blame it on him. I'm not a big fan of him. We've been talking about this at work, and the rule is the rule. And if you asked 100 people that work in the NFL, 100 players, should the rule be the rule? No. I think the competition committee will eventually get to the fact where they'll go back to when it was just all you had to do was catch the fucking ball and get 2 feet in, and that was it. Now the rule states, okay, you need to catch the ball, retain possession with 2 feet down throughout the entire catch. So your best bet if you're a receiver is to catch the ball
and fall to the ground.
Catch the ball 2 feet in and fall to the ground, but continue to hold the ball and take it, just walk off the sidelines. But that's the only way you can actually secure it. Don't ever let the ball, you can't start flipping it up. What Butler made a hell of a play knocking that out. But at the end, it was poor clock management by the Giants. We talked about this week 1 against Dallas, you know. First and 10, first and goal, they throw the ball incomplete. That just gives the Patriots another timeout. Then they throw that pass, and it's then the 2-minute warning comes. It's 3rd down. Eli rolls out, takes a dive, so that's 4th down, giving the Pats about 1:45. When if they had ran on 1st down, either force the Patriots to call their last timeout or just take it into the 2-minute warning, and then ran 2 more plays, they could have run off an extra 1:15 seconds.
And then they just kick a field goal and they're up anyway.
Exactly.
Which is what they did anyway.
But what you cannot give Brady is time, and that's what they did.
Thank God for that.
So either way, whether they scored a touchdown or not, yes, you want to score a touchdown, but then they'd have to get the 2-point conversion, and then that would put them up by 7, still giving New England a chance. They did the worst case on both scenarios. They kicked the field goal and gave them 1:48.
That's what happens. Giants wide receiver Cruz to have season-ending surgery. Victor Cruz, who hasn't played the season because of a calf injury, announced Monday that he will have season-ending surgery.
Yeah, I mean, this is an ongoing injury. Obviously, the thing was definitely last year, Sunday Night Football, early on in the season, I remember watching him catch that touchdown pass and, tear his ACL. Then the ankle came, so I think they're okay without him. I think their best option is just to get him well and just see when they can get him back as soon as possible.
Sources: O'Brien says benching Hoyer mistake. Texans coach Bill O'Brien said he was wrong to bench quarterback Brian Hoyer for Ryan Mallett after the Texans' Week 1 loss to the Chiefs, according to sources.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's always 20/20. I can use that for a million different reasons. I should have done this instead of doing that. I should have went this way instead of that way. Obviously, if we know what's going to happen, it's easier for us to go say we shouldn't have done that. No shit, he should have done that. If he had went back and watched the show, he could have heard me tell him that he's a fucking idiot. So if he had watched that, you don't play a guy through all training camp, say he's number 1, and then fucking bench him in the 3rd quarter of the first game. I mean, it's just a bunch of shit. Houston's coming back. Houston's a good football team. Houston's defense is legit. They haven't allowed a touchdown in the last 12 quarters. Their defense is playing well across the board. TJ Yates comes in and beats Cincinnati. Good for him. I'm finally glad that Cincinnati's been exposed that they're just a good football team. They're not a great football team. We all knew they were going to lose. We all knew they weren't going to go 16-0, but it's just, to lose to Houston.
See, of all the teams they could have lost here, that's kind of ridiculous.
I think that says more to how good Houston's is playing is how bad Cincinnati. And Houston's defense is legit. And if they stay healthy, they're going to be a problem. And New England goes into there in Houston. That's not going to be a walkthrough.
Well, I don't think we do. Do we play Houston in the regular season?
Yeah.
Oh, we do.
At Houston.
All right. NFL miscall cost Ravens victory over Jaguars. The NFL says a missed false start call on the Jaguars' game-winning drive would have preserved a victory for the Ravens.
And we've talked about this before, Andy. And I remember I was telling you back when I used to do for Coach Nolan I used to cut up these tapes to send to the NFL, and they'd come back and say, "Yeah, you're right, we missed it." But guess what?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So. I always think it's just worst case. Just if they already lost the game, especially in the fashion they lost, especially to Jacksonville, especially at home, blah blah blah, and for the NFL to come out and be like, "Yeah, we're sorry, you guys should have won." What the take your sorries and shove them in your hat and take a piss or a shit or whatever, because it doesn't mean it. It does not. I get fired up because what the NFL has all the leverage because they can say, you know what. We're sorry. We can't say it's never going to happen again, but we really do apologize. And then the team's like, it gets them more pissed off because what are we going to do now? Nothing. The wind's not coming back. you can take your sorries and
And touch yourself.
And touch yourself, as far as I'm concerned. So the NFL just needs to shut the fucking mouth. They always want to be in the news, and yes, they fucked up, but the last thing you need to tell a team that just lost because of the fuck up is a sorry from the NFL that we fucked up. So yeah, it sucks. It couldn't happen to a better team. I hate the Ravens, so I don't feel bad for them. But just the fact that the NFL can come out and say, we messed up, but can't change the outcome of the game.
All right, Rodgers is, quote, trying to do too much, McCarthy says. Sunday's loss to Detroit was Green Bay's third straight and marked the first time since 2008 that the Packers have lost 3 in a row with Aaron Rodgers as a starter.
He is. He's trying to do too much, and I think a lot of it has to be with the offensive line is just playing terrible. Their offensive line is not the way it was, the first 5 weeks, and obviously it's like, what are the domino effect. If the offensive line's not playing well, Aaron Rodgers not going to play well. He's not going to get the ball to the receivers, and in the end, they're not going to score points.
So Eddie Lacy's fat.
And Eddie Lacy is washed up. So, yes, he's trying to do too much. But I think a lot has to do that he's getting happy feet. He's getting quick feet in the pocket. He knows that his offensive line is not playing their best football. So he's always looking out for someone coming down his neck, and I think that affects him. And when he's only throwing to the same guys every time down, and Randall Cobb is just not an option anymore, just like nowhere to be found. Witness protection program on the field. No one can find Randall Cobb. He gets about 2 receptions for 10 yards these days. So they got a lot of self scouting to do. They got a lot of stuff to work on. Now, for all you Packers fans out there, there is a positive to this, and this is happening right now. It's happening now, and not the end of the season. If this was happening at the end of the season, going into the playoffs, then they'd be fucked. Now they did a good enough job giving themselves a 6-0 record. So this, God forbid it happens, they're still in second place. They're still in the playoff picture. But yes, Rodgers is trying to do too much. But I blame more of his offensive line.
The Rams bench Foles because you said he sucks, so they listen to you. They named Keenum the starting quarterback. A day after the Rams lost 37-13 to the Bears, Coach Jeff Fisher announced Case Keenum will take over as the team's starting quarterback with Nick Foles stepping into a backup role.
Well, I think we had this discussion about Nick Foles and Sam Bradford, and
they both suck.
We came to the conclusion that it doesn't matter which one you have; they both suck. I don't know much about Case Keenum. I guess like I said, Jeff Fisher is just not a good head coach. The only reason Jeff Fisher was Jeff Fisher is because he had Steve McNair in Tennessee, and that's it. And I don't give a fuck what people say. Jeff Fisher is not a good head football coach. He's dirty. He has a dirty. Greg Williams is his defensive coordinator, who had that funny business in New Orleans. So go ahead and play this guy. I don't think it's going to help you. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, it's not going to hurt you. But I don't see them going forward with either one of those quarterbacks.
All right, Saints fire defensive coordinator Ryan after allowing 47 to Redskins. Rob Ryan has been fired by the Saints with their defense on a historically bad track.
Yeah. They're really bad defense. And their defense was bad coming into this year. And the only reason they weren't talking about how bad this defense was because they would win football games where they'd score 50, They had to beat the Giants, or last play of the game, 54-51, okay? They allow Tennessee to come in there and beat them, score about 25, 30 points. They give up a boatload of points to the lonely Redskins. It's not all his fault, but there has to be a fall guy. He's the coordinator. He's out. The players need to take that more than, anything. Like, okay, we just got our defensive coordinator fired. Those guys who are real football players will actually take that to heart and be like, I fucking got to do a better job. I just got my coach fired. Or some of them won't. I don't know. But, yes, it's a dime for a change. They need a whole facelift on that defense. They're tired. They're old. They're slow. They can't cover anybody. Washington's putting 45 up against them. The Giants are putting 51 against them. It's just they can't stop anybody. So that's where it stands.
That's what happens. He's back. You ready for this?
Rex Ryan.
Wide receiver Nix again catches on with Giants. Wide receiver Hakeem Nicks has again caught on with the Giants, re-signing with the team on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, he's sometimes like Ahmad Bradshaw, He's the type of guy, like, he was with the Giants, then he left the Giants. He goes to Indianapolis, leaves Indianapolis, goes back to the Giants. Now he's back in it. So some guys just have a knack for that team, like James Jones with,
Like Ted Ginn Jr. in Carolina.
In Carolina. So yeah, I mean, Knicks has still got the talent. Obviously, he tried to take his talents elsewhere, and he found out quick that he didn't fit as well he did with the Giants. I think him and Eli have a good rapport together. Obviously, him making some big catches in those Super Bowls. Hakeem Nicks, I remember watching him when he was at North Carolina when he was coming out. He's a big guy, got solid hands. And I personally, he's one of those guys that I see that come down, and this is about 75% of NFL players, that they come in the league and they don't work constantly at their craft. They have to practice, as we're taught. We need to practice every night to get better at being better at our profession. A lot of guys just mainly fall back on the talent that they have, and if they're not getting better, they're going to be Hakeem Nicks.
Browns to start Manziel for the rest of the season. The Cleveland Browns will start Johnny Manziel at quarterback for the remainder of the season, Coach Mike Pettin announced Tuesday.
Now, did you know that Mike Pettin, as a head coach, is 2-17 his last 19 games as the Browns head coach? Isn't that fucking disastrous? So, good for Johnny. That's where he wants to be. He wants to be in the hype. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. I don't think he'll ever will be an NFL quarterback. But he's gonna sell jerseys, and all the broads will show up to see him. So I don't think it's gonna help anymore. I think the Browns are just gonna continue to be the Browns. But I'm not a big fan of his, and I'm not really a big fan of Pettin. The head coach, he's a disaster. It's just Cleveland just continuing to be a disaster. That's the bottom line.
Over and out. Ravens put wide receiver Perryman on injured reserve. First-round selection Brashad Perryman, who never played a down this season for the Ravens, was placed on season-ending injured reserve.
This guy is going to be great. I remember scouting him when he was at the University of Central Florida. When I was at UConn, we played him every year. He's a beast. This guy's going to be a top-notch wide receiver. He started off training camp, and early he was hurt. He never recouped, and now they're just going to put him away, put him out to pasture for the year. He's going to be a good player. Even if he had played this year, it wouldn't have worked out because they suck. So it's almost better that he gets a whole year to recoup and then come back fresh in training camp.
This happened 2 hours ago. I don't know if you know this. Cowboys
cut. How does that work?
So was I.
Yeah, I know.
But you get updates on your phone. Cowboys cut ties with quarterback Weeden and running back Michael. Brandon Weeden, 0-3 as a starter after Tony Romo was injured, was released Tuesday by the Cowboys, who also cut running back Christine Michael.
Well, I think, Brandon Weeden's no good. We all knew that from the beginning. Matt Castle's not any better, but what this says is that this shows that Romo is very close to coming back because...
No, he might be playing at Miami Sunday.
Exactly. Yeah. So my point being that the only reason Weeden was there is because he has experience throwing a football. He sucks, but God forbid, you always need a backup, whether they suck or not. As we can see in the NFL, 90% of the backups are fucking terrible. So, good riddance to Weeden. I don't think he'll get picked up unless, another quarterback goes down. So that's pretty much is going to be his compensation for the rest of his life. If, God forbid, you lose two quarterbacks and need a guy,
Brandon Weeden's there, fat and everything.
Yeah, he's terrible. Matt Castle's just as terrible. I mean, they're terrible, and I think that they've dug too far. They have to run the table and go 9-7 just to make the playoffs. So I don't really think it matters. We'll see what happens when Romo comes out. But the dope that I hate is Des Bryant. He's such a dope, and I told a lot of people this. I said, if you bring this guy back too early, he's going to be with a shitty quarterback, and all he's going to do is complain because the guy cannot keep his mouth shut, and he's yelling at the guy who's, he gets into the argument on the sideline with the guy who slapped the special team coach around, and then, he's not even in pads, he's in street clothes, and he's getting in fights on the side. I mean, he's a zebra. Shut the fuck up, Now, he dropped he dropped maybe the game winner. 3rd and 1, he drops a pass. Now, People want to put him in the Hall of Fame, okay? People want to say he's the best receiver in football, okay? Antonio Brown doesn't drop that pass.
Beckham Jr.
Beckham doesn't drop that pass. Green doesn't drop that pass. Julio Jones doesn't drop that pass.
Julian Edelman doesn't drop that pass.
Julian Edelman doesn't drop that pass. So what Dez needs to do is just shut the fuck up. But I know that's not in his DNA. He's never going to shut up. But, I'm just glad he's with Dallas and they can took all those, those loop-de-loos on that one team.
He's expressive.
He's a piece of shit.
Raiders, Alden Smith suspended 1 year by the NFL. Alden Smith, who in September pleaded not guilty to hit and run, drunken driving, and vandalism, will be banned by the NFL for 1 year.
Well, it's a long time coming. They knew it was going to come down. It's just a question of whether another shoe was going to drop. This guy's been in trouble with guns and parties, and then been on probation,
having sex,
7 sex in the closets, and then getting in trouble again with a possession of firearm, and then the 2 months later going to the airport and saying he's got a bomb on the plane, and then he was just kidding, and then coming back, getting a substance abuse charge, and then getting into a DUI, burglary, man. Just throw it. Tack it on there, tack them all on there, and it's so eventually now he's getting. So this is what you guys have to do in order just to get a year suspension. So be Alden Smith, but no matter what, he'll have a team because he can get to the quarterback.
Raiders Woodson says don't rule out return. Raiders safety Charles Woodson said don't rule out his return for the 2016 season when the perennial Pro Bowler would be 40 years old.
This guy can play. He reminds me of a lot of Rod Woodson, guys that played deep into their careers that are still playing at a high level. He's still playing at a high level. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best college football players I've ever seen. Consistent, plays hard, is a ball hawk, tackles well, and people haven't been talking about him in the last couple of years just because he's been doing his job. We'll see. It's easy to say now about 2016 because you have to find out what his cap number is and is he worth, a $10 million cap hit towards a team for the entire year when you don't know if he's going to be the same guy. My prediction is that he'll play again, but it won't be on the Raiders because they're paying him too much money and they don't.
This is a somber situation. This is crazy as hell. Just happened. Former quarterback Flutie's parents both die on the same day. Now, this is what happens. Doug Flutie's parents both passed away within an hour of each other Wednesday after being married for 56 years, the former NFL quarterback said on Facebook. Apparently, his father was in the hospital, had a heart attack and died. An hour later, his mother had a heart attack and died.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, I know Flutie, I love, trust me, where my dad comes from in Boston, Dorchester, Doug Flutie's a hero in Boston. I don't care what you say. That one play alone in 85, 86,
I think it was 86
against Miami, makes Flutie and Heisman Trophy winner. That sucks because my grandparents are going through the same thing right now. One's fallen, the other one's fallen. They each made 2 trips to the ER in the last week. So yeah, I completely understand, and they just celebrated their 65th wedding anniversary. So, it's sad to see. It's really sad, and I feel bad for him.
Sources, 36 minutes ago, Bradford has separated shoulder. Eagles quarterback Sam Bradford suffered a separated shoulder in Sunday's loss to the Miami Dolphins, league sources told ESPN's Ed Werder.
I think it's a good thing. I don't think Bradford, he's too scared. You can just see it in his eyes. He's a pussy. He doesn't have the balls. We're talking about balls. That's what we talk about at work. You got to have balls to do this. He doesn't have any balls, okay? He's scared. I don't think he's ever going to overcome whatever his issue is. And I remember watching him at Oklahoma, one of the best quarterbacks I've seen in college football, and it just hasn't translated. And I know with the injuries and the head coaches, blah, blah, blah. But Alex Smith was in a worse situation. At least he's made a career out of something. You know what I'm saying? Stan Bradford is terrible. But Mark Sanchez, that's what you have to say to yourself if you're a Philly fan. Is like, Sam Bradford's worse. Yeah, but now we got Sanchez. So, with that division, I guess, I wouldn't be surprised.
They're only a game, they're a half game out.
Yeah.
It's what the hell are we doing here?
So it's
like the NFC West used to be.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Quarterback Newton, dancing takes me to a happy place. Panthers quarterback Cam Newton says his touchdown dances take him to a happy place, and he has no plans to stop doing them.
Good. You know, and guess what? He doesn't have to answer to anybody right now. He's 9-0. If he wants to dance, let him fucking dance. If that makes him happy, you want Cam Newton to be happy. Trust
you can
me.
dance if you want to.
You can dance if you want to dance. If you can spin the ball if you want to spin the ball. The guy's, he's a big teddy bear. He does it in good fun. I don't think he does anything mean or malicious. He takes a lot of shit. He's taken a lot of shit over his career. You got to give the guy credit. 9-0. Clearly the MVP in this league so far. Him and Brady, 1 or 2, however you want to put them.
Probably Newton a little bit because they didn't expect him to do that.
Anything.
Correct.
Didn't expect him to be 9-0.
So I'd assume at this point it'd be Newton.
But well deserving.
Sure.
Fucking across the board.
Sure.
You can't. There's no one else you can say would be the other than Tom Brady.
Correct. Yeah.
So God bless him.
Definitely
him dance.
not Case Keenum.
No, let him dance until the zebras come home.
All right, we have 5% battery power on this left, so we're going to go right to transactions. Let's get them done. Thursday, the 12th of November. Raiders, waive safety Tevin McDonald.
No.
Jets, signed safety Ronald Martin from the practice squad, waived defensive lineman TJ Barnes.
No.
Patriots, signed linebacker Eric Martin from the practice squad, released defensive back Dewey McDonald, signed defensive lineman Robert Thomas to the practice squad.
No.
Colts, signed linebacker Daniel Adongo from the practice squad, waive running back Josh Robinson.
No.
This is Friday the 13th. Raiders, signed tight end Gabe Holmes from the practice squad.
No.
Jets, signed offensive lineman Lawrence Okoye to the practice squad. Vikings, released safety Brock Vereen from the practice squad, signed tight end Chase Ford to the practice squad.
No.
Dolphins, released offensive tackle Donald Hawkins from the practice squad.
No.
Colts, claimed quarterback Charlie Whitehurst off waivers from Tennessee. I'm sure they did that because Hasselbeck is now starting for Luck. Luck's out for a while.
Yes.
So they probably did that to back up the other guy.
Sure.
Cowboys, released offensive tackle John Wetzel from the practice squad. Signed quarterback Kellen Moore to the practice squad.
No.
Cardinals, placed defensive back Carriel Brooks on injured reserve.
No.
All right, Saturday the 14th. Seahawks, placed wide receiver Ricardo Lockett on injured reserve. Activated wide receiver Paul Richardson from the PUP list. And if you know Ricardo Lockett, that's the infamous Malcolm Butler play where he bumped him and grabbed the ball. Ricardo Lockett was who what's-his-face was going for.
Was he the intended
receiver? He's the guy.
receiver?
He's the intended receiver,
Okay.
Ricardo Lockett, yep. Raiders, waived wide receiver Marcus Thigpen, activated safety Nate Allen from short-term injured reserve, re-signed safety Tevin McDonald to the practice squad.
No.
Cowboys, signed linebacker Keith Smith from the practice squad.
No.
Let's go to Sunday the 15th. Texans, waived center Eric Cush, activated tight end Ryan Griffin from the injured reserve.
Ryan Griffin, that's my guy from UConn.
No, Ryan Griffin.
Ryan Griffin from UConn.
Mm-hmm.
He got hurt week 1, he got activated, and then he had some big catches on Monday night. I don't know if you guys watched that with TJ Yates. Ryan Griffin, put a star next to that guy, hang a star on him. He's a great guy. He's one of my friends, and I'm rooting for him big time.
Monday, November 16th, Seahawks released defensive tackle David King, claimed. It says camed. There's a typo.
It says what?
Camed. C-A-I-M-E-D. Not C-A-M-E-D. Defensive tackle A.J. Francis off waivers from Camed. He came. All right, so...
Martha.
No, Martha. Martha fired some people the other day. Jets, signed wide receiver Titus Davis to the practice squad, released wide receiver Shane Wynn from the practice squad.
No.
Saints, we talked about this, fired Rob Ryan, defensive coordinator.
Oh, God bless you.
Announced defensive assistant Dennis Allen will assume Ryan's duties.
Oh, God bless you.
Thank you, man.
Dennis Allen, decent. He used to be with
Minnesota, right? Or Chicago?
Washington.
Washington, is that what it was? Wasn't he a head coach at some point?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, all right. Colts, activated cornerback Dijon Smith from the injured reserve return list.
Like the mustard?
I don't know. D-J-O-U-N.
Yeah.
D, whatever, yeah.
Dijon.
Sure.
No.
All right. Cowboys, wave linebacker Keith Smith.
No.
All right, this is Tuesday the 17th. This is yesterday. Titans. This is a big one. Signed wide receiver Trey McBride from the practice squad and wide receiver Andrew Turtzilli from San Francisco's practice squad. Plays cornerback Jason McCourty and wide receiver Justin Hunger on injured reserve. Signed linebacker Yannick Cujo-Virgil and cornerback Shaquille Richardson to the practice squad. Released linebacker Marcus Pierce-Brewster.
The only guy I know in there is the McCourty. Obviously, his brother plays for the Patriots.
Yep.
But, yeah, I guess he's injured, so.
He's out or he's on the injured reserve now. Seattle, released wide receiver Chris Matthews. Isn't that the guy that fucking caught like 100 yards receiving in the Super Bowl? That tall guy that they got out of Foot Locker and nobody could cover him until they switched? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Chris Matthews, yeah, the guy that nobody had heard of.
Yeah.
Got out of Foot Locker, literally.
Yeah.
And started, he caught a touchdown. He was catching bombs down the field. He's done. Signed wide receiver Kevin Smith from the practice squad.
No.
Giants, we talked about them signing wide receiver Hakeem Nicks. Patriots, signed wide receiver Chris Harper from the practice squad, released offensive lineman Chris Barker.
No.
Vikings, signed tight end Chase Ford, signed tight end Dominic Jones to the practice squad.
No.
Chiefs, placed tight end James O'Shaughnessy on injured reserve, claimed defensive tackle David King off waivers from Seattle. Cowboys, we talked about this. Waived quarterback Brandon Wheaton. We did not talk about them waiving cornerback Corey White, but we did talk about them waiving running back Christine Michael.
Yes. No.
Bears, signed cornerback Jacoby Glenn from the practice squad, waived cornerback Terrence Mitchell. And the Ravens, placed wide receiver Brashard Perryman on injured reserve. We talked about that. Waived injured defensive back Asa Jackson. Waived wide receiver kick returner Jeremy Ross. Signed wide receiver Kalen Clay, tight end Chase Ford, and cornerback Cassius Ford.
No.
All right, today, Buccaneers, signed defensive end Lauren Sidbury, signed center Josh Allen, and linebacker Josh Keyes to the practice squad. Did you even hear what I just said? No, you didn't. Put that shit down and pay attention. Buccaneers. I saw it all over your face. What am I fucking going to say here? No. All right, Buccaneers.
I was honest.
Yeah, Buccaneers signed defensive end Lawrence Sidbury, signed center Josh Allen, and linebacker Josh Keyes to the practice squad.
No.
Rams, place offensive tackle Darrell Williams and guard Jamin Brown on injured reserve.
No.
Waived defensive tackle Doug Worthington. Released defensive end Gerald Rivers from the practice squad. Signed offensive tackle Isaiah Battle and center Brian Folkerts from the practice squad. And guard David Arkin to the practice squad. Claimed center Eric Kush off waivers from Houston.
No.
Seahawks, signed defensive tackle Justin Hamilton and cornerback Trevon Reed to the practice squad.
No.
Chargers, released defensive back Matt Daniels from the practice squad.
No.
Raiders, released running back Rajion Neal from the practice squad, signed running back George Atkinson to the practice squad.
No.
Giants, plays wide receiver Victor Cruz on injured reserve. We talked about that. Waived linebacker James Morris and cornerback Trayman Jacobs. Released wide receiver Julian Talley from the practice squad. Signed safety Cooper Taylor. Signed offensive tackle Emmett Cleary from the practice squad. Signed wide receiver Ben Edwards and center Shane McDermott to the practice squad.
No.
Patriots released defensive backs Ross Ventrone and Dewey McDonald from the practice squad. Signed tight end Joseph Aurier, cornerback Chris Greenwood, and safety Brock Vereen to the practice squad.
No.
Dolphins, waived center Sam Brenner, released tight end Tim Smysic from the practice squad.
No.
Jaguars, placed defensive tackle send Derek Marks and safety James Sample on injured reserve. Activated wide receiver Rashad Green from injured reserve. Signed safety Craig Lawson from the practice squad.
No.
Lions, placed cornerback Josh Wilson on injured reserve. Signed cornerback Bill Bentley.
No.
Cowboys, activated linebacker Mark Nizokia from injured reserve. Signed running back Robert Turbin and cornerback Deji Olatoyi from the practice squad. And safety Tim Scott and linebacker Keith Smith to the practice squad. No?
No.
All right, and the Ravens, placed center Jeremy Zuda on injured reserve. Signed cornerback Cassius Vaughn.
No.
All right, so let's go into last week. Let me charge this up. Let's go into last week's performance, see? And,
Do you want me to do my picks first?
No, we're not going to do that. We're going to talk about how we all did last week, and we got to update the standings before we go into the picks.
Okay.
That's how we do it. Now, excuse me.
I have my money.
Well, we're going to get to that in a minute,
Okay.
see? Count it up, see? Even Winnie came over to see this. All right, last week, it was a debacle all the way around. The best record, by the way, was Yes to Anything That Is Cool Awesome at 7-7. That's how bad we all were. Okay. So yes, let's start with the Peon division. Yes to Anything That's Cool Awesome went 7-7. Who the fuck is this? James LeBlanc went 6-8, and CV Gun went 4-10. So the standings updated. Yes to Anything That Is Cool Awesome in first at 54-35 and tied for second. CV Gun and James LeBlanc both at 52-37, 2 games out. We go to our division. Last week, me and McLovein and Patrick at this point, the fuck, 6-8. Okay, and boy, Steve Goldman,
Took it hard.
Steve Goldman took it up the ass, fucking jailbird style. 3-11.
Oh,
That's just
Steve.
it's like a cow goes moo. A cow getting raped. That's what happened pretty much. Even Winnie's like, hey, Winnie, 3-11. What do you think about that, Winnie? 3-11. Is that good or bad?
Terrible.
She's like, 3-11. I can't even believe what the fuck I'm hearing. Can you believe it? So she just sit down, Winnie. We got to do this show. All right. Winnie, sit down. All right, here we go.
Go lay down.
Yeah. All right.
Go lay down.
No.
Go lay down.
I just want to play with you.
Okay. We'll
I'm
play
a doggy.
later.
Here,
We'll
look at
play
my
later.
paw.
I get stuff to
I gotta
do.
smell you though.
Okay, you already smelled me.
All right, here's the deal. You ready?
Yes.
3-11. Holy Jesus. All right. So the updated division here, Patrick. You're in first at 62-43, and then me and Steve Goldman are both tied for second at 55-50. 7 games back. You have a healthy lead.
So it's going to take a
monumental, fucking horrific
collapse.
Collapse.
Just a collapse to lose.
All right. So that's where we're at. Let's go into your. You have your sheeter now?
No, I'm going to have you read.
Oh, okay, good. All right. So the lines and everything else.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, Bills and Jets.
Bills and Jets.
Bills and Jets, thank you very much. $100. I should have bet more. I was scared. I'm not going to lie.
I pay up my bets. So there you
I
go,
texted
Andy.
him at 12. This is how it went down. You ready for this? I texted him in halftime, folks. I texted him at halftime, C, and this is what I said,
I can
C.
tell you the whole conversation.
Well, I got it right here. I just wanted to be verbatim. That way there's no, exaggerations
business.
or any of that.
Funny business.
Yeah, okay. So here's the deal. Thursday, 9:58 p.m., I text him and I say 12-3, C. 10:04 p.m. he says, yup, ... 4-quarter game, ... C. Thursday at 11:27 p.m. he texts me, nice win. Double or nothing? I said, no, I'll take the 100. He goes, haha, okay. So that's pretty much the fucking conversation. That's all it was. Thank God for that. I need that because I'm fucking broke. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I am, but I'm not. All right, anyway, all these scratch ticket losses have killed me. All right, horrific. I win in Tennessee. Kenny comes back. Kenny comes back. Did you see that one?
No.
Spent 100, won 10.
Oh.
So talk about fucking Steve Goldman. I know how it feels.
There you go.
There you go. That's scratch ticket money tomorrow.
Yeah. Any games this week?
We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, so here we go.
Okay.
Against the spread, let's pay attention. Thursday night, this is...
It's
Titans 2-7 at home against Titans 2-7 against Jacksonville, who's at home at 3-6. You have 7% battery, so we got to do this quick.
Yeah.
Titans Jaguars. The line is Jacksonville as favored at home by 2.5.
Jacksonville minus the 2.5.
All right, Raiders 4-5 at away against the Lions, who are home at 2-7. Raiders as the road team are favored by 2.
Oakland minus 2.
Okay, Colts 4-5 against Atlanta at home 6-3. Atlanta's the home team; they're favored by 5.5.
Colts Atlanta minus 5.5.
Jets at the Texans. Jets are 5-4. Texans 4-5.
It's even.
It's even. There's no line on here.
That's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna take Houston.
Because remember, as the home team, Houston is favored by 3 at this point. Correct. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Buccaneers Eagles. Buccaneers 4-5. Eagles 4-5. Eagles are home. Eagles are favored by 5.5.
Tampa.
At home. Take Tampa plus the 5.5.
Yes.
All right, Broncos 7-2 against the Bears 4-5. Remember, Osweiler starting. Chicago is at home. They're favored by 1.5.
Chicago.
Rams 4-5. Ravens 2-7. Ravens are at home. Ravens are favored by 1.5.
Who are they playing?
The Rams.
What was the spread?
1.5. Ravens are favored at home.
St. Louis.
All right, Cowboys 2-7 against the Dolphins 4-5. Ramos probably playing. It's even.
Dallas.
Okay, Dallas is favored by, or Dallas the underdog by 3, but you're taking them. Dallas plus 3.
I think Tony's going to play.
Yeah, and Dallas should be able to. Well, we don't know. Who knows? Redskins 4-5 against the undefeated Panthers at home 9-0. Panthers are only favored by 7 here.
Panthers.
Okay. Chiefs 4-5 against the Chargers 2-7. Kansas City is favored by 3 on the road. Chargers are home 2-7.
Fuck it, I'm taking San Diego plus the points.
Plus the points, plus the 3.
Yeah.
Packers 6-3 on the road against Minnesota, who leads the division, by the way. Game of the week, 7-2. Minnesota at home is only favored by 1.
I'm taking Green Bay.
Okay. 49ers 3-6 against Seahawks 4-5. Seahawks are home. Seahawks are favored over the San Francisco by 13.
San Francisco plus the points.
Okay. Bengals 8-1 on the road against the Cardinals 7-2. Arizona's favored by 5. This is the Sunday night game.
Cincinnati plus the points.
Okay, and then Bills 5-4 on the road against the undefeated Patriots. Patriots are 9-0. Patriots are only favored by 7 at home.
Patriots.
Okay, now this is interesting, and I thought about this the other day. Okay, you ready for this? Last week, not this past week, the previous week, there were 4 undefeated teams.
Correct.
1 lost. I think the one that lost, who was it? It was Denver.
Denver lost to Indianapolis.
Denver lost to Indianapolis, but did Denver, was that the first game of the week and then everybody else played and won?
No, it was a Sunday night game.
It was a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
So who had won already? Patriots had won, correct?
Yeah.
Who did they play? They played the Jets. No, they played Miami Thursday night. No. Who the fuck did they play last week? Not the Giants, the week before.
No, don't do this. They played Washington.
No, the Patriots didn't play Washington.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, you're right, they did.
Yeah.
You're right.
Of course.
So when did they play Washington? That's the question.
The week that Indianapolis lost to.
Well, where's that sheet?
We didn't do it. We didn't do a show.
Yeah, we did. We did a show last week.
No, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago was the game that they played on Sunday.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they played Sunday. That's right, because I had to watch it.
Yep.
So they won. What was the Monday night game?
The Monday night game, I think, was that Carolina.
All right. Okay. So here's what I'm going to go with.
No, the Monday night
Bears
game
Chargers.
was, yes.
Bears Chargers.
Okay, yeah.
So Broncos Colts was not the Sunday night game. Eagles Cowboys was. Sunday was at 4:00. Broncos Colts.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, but this is important. Here's why. So all three people won. What's my point? Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out.
Okay, here we go. Patriots win. They're still undefeated.
Correct.
Panthers win. They're still undefeated.
Correct.
Okay, and Cincinnati played on Thursday night and they won.
Correct.
And they were undefeated.
Correct.
So one team ended up losing. That was the Colts.
Correct.
Or that was the Broncos.
Correct.
Okay. Fast forward to last week.
Correct.
Okay. Fast forward to last week. Look what happens.
New England wins.
Forget about that. Let's go in order. Okay. Let's go in order because that game was a 4:00 game, right? Okay. So Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Sunday, Panthers won.
Yeah.
Okay.
New England won.
New England won, but forget about New England for a minute. Let's go back to who was the other undefeated team besides Cincinnati? Oh, there were only three.
There was only three.
Okay. If New England had won,
Correct.
excuse me, if New England had lost,
Yeah.
I guarantee you Cincinnati would have won.
How?
Here's my thinking.
You
There were
can't-
four. Well, watch this now. I'm going to make a prediction. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Going to make a prediction. There were four undefeated teams. 3 won. The last team that played had to lose, and they lost. Okay?
Yeah.
Now we're down to 3 teams going into last week. Okay? First 2 teams won.
Yeah.
Third team had to lose.
Okay.
And they did.
Yep.
Okay? Now there's 2 undefeated teams. There's the Carolina and there's the Patriots.
Correct.
Mark my words, as much as I do not want this to happen, if Carolina wins, the Patriots will lose against Buffalo. If the pattern continues,
All right.
Patriots are going to lose against Buffalo.
It's not going to
So
happen.
let's pray to God. It could. What the Patriots are, look at the injury front now. Rumor is that the Patriots are actually, all their offensive line people are coming back. They're at practice right
You
now.
have to keep this for the.
So that's big. No, I don't. No, I can just write it down. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
we got to go quick.
All right, but do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, and I respect it. I
Okay.
respect that your mind would think something like that has absolutely nothing to do with. But that's
Well,
great.
just like the Packers 0-3 with Dick's fucking Packers thing.
That's more cut and dried, but you know.
Well, all right. So here's the deal. I'm going to put $20 on this. I'll bet you $20 this is what happens. Okay?
100,
20.
50,
20.
50,
20 is better than 0.
40.
Do you want a gentleman's bet?
No, fuck no.
So you do 20 or 0?
Yeah, 20.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. If Carolina wins, New England loses.
Correct.
If Carolina loses, New England wins.
If Carolina loses,
New England wins.
If
If Carolina
Carolina
wins, New England loses.
yeah, all day,
Here we go.
all day.
All right.
Now there's no loopholes in that.
No,
is
it's
there?
real easy. Well, if they tie, there's a loophole.
Okay.
Because that doesn't count.
So if Carolina
Carolina loses somehow on Sunday.
bet's over, I won.
No, you didn't. Because Carolina plays Sunday. The Patriots play Monday night.
Yes.
If Carolina loses Sunday and
Yes.
the Patriots win, I win.
No.
Yes. Carolina, that's the whole point.
What-
Listen to me very carefully. There can only be one. This is like Highlander.
I don't know Highlander.
Anyway, Carolina loses.
Yes.
The Patriots will win Monday night. Carolina loses their game Sunday. The Patriots are definitely going to win. If Carolina wins, the Patriots are definitely going to lose. Now, how do you win? If Carolina loses and the Patriots lose, you win.
Yes.
If Carolina wins and the Patriots win, you win. That's the only way you win. The only way I win is what I said. Carolina loses, the Patriots have to win. If they do, I win. That's the point. If Carolina wins Sunday, I'm guessing the Patriots are going to lose. And if they do, I win. Do you understand?
Yeah. Okay.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, so I'm just going to put it here.
Okay.
If Carolina wins, I'm guessing the Patriots are going to lose. I win. Andy wins.
Okay.
If Carolina loses, I'm guessing the Patriots are going to win. Andy wins. If Carolina loses and the Patriots lose, I lose. If Carolina wins and the Patriots win, I lose. See?
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
You're sure?
So what I need is for Carolina to lose.
No, because I win.
Why?
If Carolina
If the
loses,
Patriots
the Patriots win. I win.
Okay, so I need Carolina to win. And
Whatever Carolina does, you need the Patriots to do, and you win.
Okay.
If Carolina wins, you need the Patriots to win.
Perfect.
If Carolina
That's
loses,
what's gonna happen.
correct.
So
All right. So there you go.
okay.
All right, we're
So
good
that's
now. Okay,
that's
here's
a
the deal.
winner.
All
Can I
right.
take that 20 back.
Just touch yourself right now. All right.
It's a winner.
You touch yourself.
Okay. I'll
All right.
do that later.
All right, ready? Winnie's like, I'm bored. Let's go. All right, you can't see her. She was yawning. All right, here we go. Picks. You ready? Let's get this show on the road. See? So we have 49ers Seahawks. What the hell is this? Yeah, this is it. Weird.
What?
Why is it?
Go all the way to the top.
No, I am at the top. Now I'm going all the way to the bottom. They have Bengals Cardinals. When is that? Is that Sunday night? So this is Monday night.
Let me see it.
Thursday, November 19th. And then this is Monday night.
So
11:23,
Thursday night-
11:19 is
So
what,
Thursday?
Thursday?
Night is Jacksonville.
So this is Sunday.
No.
Hold on.
Scores.
This is fucking weird.
It's not that weird.
I
Finding a way to fuck it up.
Now, here's the deal. All right, here we go. We're fine now.
Okay.
I don't know what that was, but I'm telling you, it was fucking weird.
Okay. Jacksonville.
All right, here we go. Titans, Jaguars. You got Jacksonville.
Yep.
Okay. So, Patrick, Andy, we both have Jacksonville. All right. Raiders, Lions.
Raiders.
Yeah. Colts, Falcons.
Falcons.
Okay. Jets, Texans.
Houston.
Okay, I'm taking the Jets. Buccaneers, Eagles.
Fuck. Buccaneers.
Really? I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah.
So there's two right now that are different. All right. Broncos, Bears.
Bears.
Yep. Me as well. Rams, Ravens.
Rams.
No. I'm going to take Baltimore. They've been close. They're 2-7. They're at home, though. St. Louis is starting Case Keenum. He could be fucking God's gift to creation, or he could fucking suck worse than what's-his-face. So I'm taking Baltimore. There's 3 games we differ on. Cowboys, Dolphins.
Cowboys.
Okay, I'm taking Miami at home. Romo could be rusty. Redskins, Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah. Chiefs, Chargers.
Chargers.
I'm taking Kansas City. It's 5 games. This guy, if I sweep you, I'm only 2 games back here. Packers, Vikings.
He said if.
Yeah. Packers, Vikings.
Packers.
Nope. Taking Minnesota at home. 6. 49ers, Seahawks.
Seattle.
Okay, we good there. Bengals, Cardinals, Sunday night.
I'm going to take the Bengals.
Oh, I'm taking Arizona.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's it. There's a 7-game ditsy do. All right, and then Bills, Patriots. I think we all know who we're taking
Bills.
there. Okay. You're taking the Bills.
I'm just kidding.
All right, so we have 7 games that differ. I think this is the most ever.
Yes.
All right, just to recap, you have Houston, I have the Jets. You have Tampa, I have Philadelphia. You have St. Louis, I have Baltimore. You have Dallas, I have Miami. You have San Diego, I have Kansas City. You have Green Bay, I have Minnesota. You have Cincinnati, I have Arizona. Guys, thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Go touch yourself. Have a good night, man. Get ready for Scratch Ticket Thursday tomorrow.
Good luck, guys.
All right, woof, woof,
All right, we'll
woof.
see you next week.
Martha.